Our board members, because there are so many of us, we're just going to stand and pass the mic, okay? And if you need to sit, you can sit in the front row. So why don't our board members come and sit in the front row? Yeah. Stuart, can we put the list of board members up? No, I think we'll be okay because we have a lot of people. So thank you very much. So if our board members could come and sit on the front row. Yeah.
It's all done, and then she's going to take that to this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll bring this back and put it out. And Mary's going to be here most times, and so you know. Oh, good. It's just nice to have another person. Yes.
Yeah. If you are joining online, we're going to get started in just a couple minutes.
I've been on Princess to Mexico. What am I trying to say? The pyramids. Did you go to one?
We just went down the 1 week, the Mexican Riviera.
Yes. Yes. How nice.
And that's where she was.
Now, why is that camera not lit?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a microphone. Sometimes it runs out of water and the flame goes out because it's just an oil.
Let's see.
So I could light it.
David, would you remind people out there that our board is ready to meet people, so they need people to meet. Yeah. Thank you, David. Stuart, are we good online? Great. Okay, so welcome to Parables, whether you are here in the sanctuary or connecting online. We are glad that you are here. We want to make sure that you can put names and faces to our 2024 leadership board. This idea came from our new lay leader, Ann Necessary. She said it's important that we take time on a Sunday to make sure people know who we are. We'll also be sharing this information in the newsletter as well. Yesterday, we had 100% participation, either in person or online, at an all-day leadership board retreat in Cloudcroft. And we had a pretty aggressive agenda, right, Margaret? It was a pretty ambitious day, and we came out with some things that are really exciting and a way to look forward into the future. And so we will be sharing that in the weeks to come. But today I want to make sure you know who your people are. So can we go back to that slide? We're not going to sing a hymn. Okay, so I'm going to invite you up. If you're able to stand, that's great up here. If you're not, just go ahead and come up for a minute, and then you can go down to the first row until we're ready to speak. So let's start with Margaret Jorgensen. Margaret is our chairperson, and she has been serving on the board for 2 years. This is her third year as the chairperson, and she is involved in a variety of ways, including the food pantry and the mission team. She helps with Camino at times as well. What else would you say?
Growth group. Steve, what else are we involved with? So we talked about the pantry, talked about and the mission team, and now being on the board and
Margaret, hold it right up to your mouth.
being on the board, and then as part of the board, Amy lured me into this thing called Churches in Mission, which has been awesome, and we'll be hearing more about that in the weeks to come too. And the nursery.
Oh, and the nursery, that's important as well.
We need babies. I would love to hold some babies. Come on.
That's not a
I'm talking
directive
to the
all
wrong-
of you,
wrong
but
people, but
but if you know some people who have some babies, tell them.
no, I didn't mean Carter, so don't worry, Laura. Or Johnny.
Thank you, Margaret.
Or Paige. Sorry.
I know. Thank you, Margaret. It's perfect. And George Jameson is our vice chair. George has been involved in the choir and with our tech team, and he is an excellent board member. Is there anything you would like to add, George, about your participation at Morningstar?
I have been on the leadership board, also the board of the Wesley Foundation, which is a United Methodist College ministry, the choir, and tech.
Yes, excellent. So thank you, George, for your ministry as well. We still have some words showing up, extra words, Stuart, on that slide, if you could take those off for us. Laura Talley is our secretary, so you can come up there.
I'm here.
Laura, tell us how you're involved.
Okay. I'm bell choir up there. If you see me texting in church, I'm talking to the online community. They're my friends. I do Wednesday nights with Amy and Amanda. I plan games. There's more. I'm gonna do Bunko. Bunko is gonna be really fun. Board. There's more. I don't know. I do whatever I'm asked.
That's very true. That's very true. And so, hey, Stuart, we're getting a little bit of comment about the sound online. So can you double check that for us, please? Perfect. Okay, so if you are online, we're working on the sound. Laura, can you say that too? Because I'm not sure which mic is working better.
Online, can you hear me? Hello, friends.
Just say we're working on it.
We're working on it.
Paige Wheeler is our treasurer.
Hi.
Paige, why don't you tell everybody how you're involved at the church?
Most Sundays, or half the Sundays, I sing up here at 9:15. I'm on the board. I'm on the mission team. I have done bells. I come to Wednesday night for the Bible project in our fourth semester. Hopefully final semester. If you haven't checked it out, you should come. I do dinners for 8.
Yeah.
Our group met last night, had a good dinner. That was nice.
Excellent. Okay, very good.
I show up in paint.
You show up. Paige is another one who will show up anytime asked to do whatever is needed. And that's really true, actually, of all the board members, which is wonderful. Thank you, Paige. And so, Anne, necessary, do we need to come? Can you come up? Okay. Anne Necessary is our new lay leader. Thank you. That means she is your liaison to me. All right, so if you have something that you feel like you can't say to me, please say it to her so we can figure it out, okay? Go ahead. How are you involved? Hold the mic right up to your mouth.
Okay. I am a Sunday school teacher this past year. I am on the youth team, helping on Wednesday nights, assisting them. I work in the pantry. I've done the senior pantry and the regular pantry. And then I do about anything Amy asks me if she calls and asks for help. And I do the after-school program, which I really love.
Awesome. Thank you. Kathy Bradley is not able to be here with us, but we do have a photo. Her granddaughter is ill this morning. Do you have Kathy's photo that you can show? Just a moment. There she is. It's Kathy Bradley, so can you put the name to the face? Yeah, she's involved with the children's ministry especially, which is one reason that we wanted her to be on the board so she can speak to that. So thank you. Thanks, Stuart. And go back to the other slide with the names so I know who to call up. So Carol Kuhn is on the board. Judy is telling us that online sound is working, so that's good.
Hi. I haven't been real active in the last few years because my husband had been ill. But prior to that, I had done Stephen Ministry, which was awesome. I think I probably got more out of it than I gave. But I'm happy to be part of the board and try to be helpful again.
You are helpful, Carol. Let's see. Joyce Lara. I lost my place. Thank you. Joyce Lara, yes. You're getting claps.
Yeah, I feel like this is my home lately. I've been up here like 2 weeks in a row now, so We got to stop.
No, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. So, Joyce, tell us how you're involved in case somebody hasn't picked up on that
In
yet.
case you haven't heard, I am the pantry manager. Woohoo! Thank you to all my pantry friends out here and my very dedicated volunteers. Just a quick note, the last pantry we had, the record was 186 online, but I'm pretty sure we did 194. However, my body felt like we did thousands. So it was a crazy day. But I've also helped, not this year, but I have helped in the after-school program. I've done the Valentine's Day, although I get to do something a little different this year, so I won't get to be there. With that, we do dinner for 8 as well. And again, kind of whenever Amy needs something that we can fit in, Greg and I are willing to help.
Thank you, Joyce. Could I have my slide back, please? I'm really dependent on that slide right now, Stuart. I'm sorry. Carlos is next. Okay, Carlos, we can bring the mic. Yes, yeah, we can bring the mic to you. Carlos Marks, tell us how you're involved.
I'm involved with the pantry, the after-school program with the kids, and any place I'm needed at my advanced age.
Valentine's Day, small group.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Get your vows renewed. I did it last year.
That's right.
Where am I from? A little town in New Jersey called Roselle.
New Jersey. Shout out for New Jersey. Woo!
I have an accent, right?
New Jersey is a place that is near and dear to my heart. Thank you so much, Carlos. And so, Jim, I haven't forgotten you. We're going to get to you in just a minute. Jim Lal, he is worshiping online with us. He has been involved in a variety of ways, and he is involved now on the board because one of the reasons I really wanted to ask him to serve and was so thrilled that he said yes is because he worships every week with his wife, Mary, online. They are regular online attenders, and so he's a great source for helping us understand how to make things better for online worship and online participation, and so we're working on that. And so let's see, a little bit of background. He has sent me his answers so I can share those with you. He was born a third-generation Methodist in Kenosha, Wisconsin, when his wife, Mary, and he chose to end living full-time in the motor home. After 6.5 years, they bought a house in Las Cruces in August of 2011, and then they began to visit Morning Star in the middle of that month, that same month. They attended regularly and became members of Morning Star in June of 2012. In addition to regular attendance, they enjoyed a Sunday school class for more than 5 years, ate heartily at Dinner for 8, and helped with Mission Project. He took the reins of the Methodist men's group for a while and held an off-site retreat with an attendance of 26 men, and he's regularly participated in buying Christmas gifts for children in the community. So that is Jim. You may not see him in person, but he is with us, he and Mary, and we are so very glad for your participation. So welcome, Jim. Carter Talley. Okay, you can take this one or you can take that one too. So how have you been involved, Carter?
I am the youth representative. I come to youth every night. Well, every night I can, and I also do tech. I ran the live stream during church today.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to graduate this year. So he's going to graduate this year. I know we're happy for him, but sad for us. Carter has been an excellent board member, and we really appreciate his participation. So thank Carter, please. Yeah. Where are you going to school, Carter? Have you decided?
I'm going to New Mexico Tech in Socorro.
Yeah. Dale Yo, the birthday girl. She can't. Will you share how you've been involved, if you can remember it all?
Well, I have notes because I don't always remember it all. But no, recently, I guess the most active thing I've been doing is pantry. I work in the pantry, and I've been involved on the board. And speaking of boards, I'm on the leadership board and a couple community boards also. And let's see what else. Missions, the Bell Choir, Bible studies. I try to tune in on Thursday morning, if anybody, and then the Bible study on the Great Bible Study with Johnny Talley on Wednesday evenings. Let's see, what else? I think that's probably about. Oh, okay. The hiking group is difficult because it's hard to get everybody hiking, to go at the same time. But yes, if you want to go hike, talk to me and we can figure something out as to when.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
she's gotten your pastor hiking, which is a really great, fun thing. So why don't you stay here, and I'm going to ask you the first question, and we can bring the mic down to the floor so we can just come up and answer it from there. But this is a question for everyone on the board. What is your favorite aspect of Morning Star?
My favorite aspect is the friendliness of the people and the outreach and service to each other and to our community.
Excellent. Okay, so why don't you bring the mic down to the floor, and we'll start with George. Your favorite aspect, and then we'll get Paige after George. Favorite aspect of Morning Star, and remember, we have people online, so you can look into the camera as well. Yeah,
Okay.
right there. That's
Yes,
right.
what I really like is the preaching of been here for 3 pastors, and the preaching has been excellent, educational, good theology, and interesting. And I appreciate that.
Thank you. I didn't even ask him to say that. Thanks, George. Favorite aspect?
I think my favorite aspect is the community and how welcoming and friendly everybody is. And if you want to get involved, they will make a way and help you get involved.
Excellent. Thank you, Paige. Carlos, favorite aspect of Morning Star?
Favorite aspect is reaching out to the community and getting involved, and you feel like home here.
That's right. Man. Margaret, favorite aspect of Morning Star?
Okay, so this is a hard one because I love everything about Morning Star. But I would say I was drawn to this church community's willingness, and not only willingness, they love to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And so the missions team was the first thing I got really involved with, and then Pantry. And through that, we also met some great people, all of you guys. And so that's what I like the most.
Great answer.
Mm-hmm.
Joyce, favorite aspect? I'll give you a chance to give everybody a round of applause at the end, okay?
My favorite aspect is having the microphone in my hand. No, just kidding. I feel important. I think my favorite aspect here is just the openness. And like this morning, things happen and it's okay. And we all make mistakes, and that's just the way life is. And I love that it is like a sense of family. We've only been here a couple of years, but have that great sense of family and know if there's anything we need, there's lots of people here that can support us.
Thank you. And Necessary, favorite aspect of Morning Star?
Once again, saying your favorite aspect.
Hold the
For
mic.
one thing
Hold the
is
mic
really
close,
hard.
Ann.
For
Hold the
really
mic close.
is one aspect is really hard. So what I would really like to say is the warmth and caring feeling of all the congregations. Both I used to be in the 9:30 one, and I go now to the 11 o'clock one. And the warmth and feeling, and you get in from all the people. Then the other thing would be the outreach programs, and especially the after-school program.
Thank you, Ann. Perfect. Laura, Tally.
Okay. I want to say 2, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, they let you serve wherever you want. If you're like, I have an idea. Oh, online. Hi. If you have an idea, they will listen. That's my first. And then the other one is that there's all ages. So it's not just one type of age. There's everybody.
Thank you, Laura. Carter, Tally, to prove your point.
Yes. Yes, I'm all ages. Oh. Hi, live stream. Hello. My favorite
Aspect of
aspect
Morning
of the
Star.
church
Yeah.
is that Amy incorporates all ages, from the little kids with the Stump the Pastor, with the youth, with the boards out there that they can write on, and the word that she incorporates into her message. And all of you, which come every Sunday, hopefully.
Thank you, Carter. Great answer. Great answer. Yeah, great answer. Carol Kuhn.
I really love the openness and the welcoming attitude of everybody here. From the very first time I came, I felt included, and we need to include everyone, as he said, including our youth. We need to make sure, because they are the future of this church. So, and Amy's really, really good about trying to be very inclusive of all of us. But I love you guys. This is the sweetest, warmest, most welcoming church.
Thank you. Carol, you can stay up because I'm going to ask you the next question, but I want to share Jim's answer first. Jim Lull says his favorite aspect of Morning Star is the welcoming and loving nature of the congregation. And he says the next question is, what is your hope for the church? His hope for the church is that we can continue to have a positive influence on and benefit to the community around us. So what is your hope, Carol?
I hope that we can continue loving one another and growing and actually reaching out more to the community to find out what our community needs and how we can make our community happier and healthier.
Thank you, Carol. Great answer. We'll just go back the other direction. Carter, what's your hope for the church? I just surprised him.
I know, right? My hope for the church is that we keep expanding the youth group and keep just incorporating the children more and the youth more. That's what I want.
It's a great hope for the church. Laura Talley. In case you haven't made the connection, Laura is Carter's mom.
I'll keep him.
Yeah, and Cindy just said, and I'm his grandma. That's right.
My hope is that we keep living into our mission and our vision to point everybody to the grace of God found in Jesus through radical inclusion, alleviation of suffering,
and inspirational
worship. I love all of that, and I try to remember it every day.
Thank you, Laura. And necessary, what is your hope for our church?
My hope for the church is that we continue to grow in our outreach programs, reaching more people in the community, and that we show God in everything that we do.
Thank you. Joyce Lara, your hope for the church?
Ditto to everything that's been said. The growth and continued movement, I think, is just a very important thing with the program.
Thank you. Margaret?
Well, I hope many things, like everybody already expressed, but I think I hope that we can all feel the will of God in what we do in this church and for the future, because I think that will guide us. And I certainly have my faith journey, since I've been on the board especially, has grown in leaps and bounds. And so I just hope all of you and all who come here and the people that are going to want to come here, because we're out there with them, out in the community with them, in this neighborhood with them, I hope they will feel God's love for us and for His will for us in our lives.
Thank you, Margaret. We're grateful for your leadership. Carlos, Marks?
I just hope we continue to go out into the community, and especially to our youth, because like they say, they're the future, okay? And I'm just looking forward to whatever I can do. Thank you.
Thanks, Carlos. George Jameson, what is your hope for the church?
My hope is for continued closeness and growing together of the people in the congregation, as well as expanding into our mission field and doing the things for others and remembering ourselves as well.
Thank you, George. Paige Wheeler.
think my hope is that we are able to live out our blessing at the end of service. The line that always sticks with me every week is that we are able to do what others claim cannot be done. And so I hope that we're able to embody that and make that a reality.
It's a great hope, Paige. Thank you. Dale Yo. Once again, if you haven't wished Dale a happy birthday, please be sure to do that.
Thank you. Well, I think I have a hard time adding to what everybody has already said, except to emphasize it that we continue to be of service to each other and to the community, and that we continue to grow and increase our not only numbers but in diversity and in our service.
Thank you. Thank you. So as you can see, we have a great board. Yeah, you can just put it right in there. Dan. We have an excellent board, really and truly. And I'm so privileged to be able to work with them. We want you to be able to contact our board. And so if you didn't know, there is an email that goes directly to Margaret, and she makes sure that she shares the information with us. So if there is a time that you feel like you cannot talk to me for whatever reason, I hope there's never a time when that is true. But if there is a time when you feel like you cannot talk to me about something for whatever reason, you can always contact the board at board@mstarlc.church. You can talk to any board member individually as well, but it's really helpful when we know directly what it is that you're experiencing instead of finding out things second and third hand. So please contact the board. We're open to that. Definitely. So we have a few minutes, about 5 minutes. Do we have any questions from the community? And Margaret has something she wants to say.
I feel I would be remiss if I didn't thank and acknowledge the staff here that we have. Amy, of course, we all know is wonderful. And what she has been able to do in the 2.5 years you've been here is really amazing to me. But she has some awesome people working for her, in Stuart and Angie, and I'm going to forget Patty, and yeah, it's just... Yes, you guys know. They're wonderful, and we need to remember to tell them, because I know I don't do that enough. So hopefully you will help me remember, and also yourself give thanks to what a wonderful staff we have here at Morning Star.
Very kind. Thank you. Cindy Farmer. Sure. Great question. So she's asking what we did yesterday. So I'll let the board answer that, but we will have a summary in the newsletter tomorrow that will share a little bit more about that, and there will be more to come, of course. So who would like to answer the question, what we did yesterday? Margaret, does somebody else want to do it? Okay.
So I'm the leader, I'm going to start, but you're going to have to help me. So it's interesting Cindy asked this question because we were at her house. She and Randy, her husband, were very generous in offering us their home up in Cloudcroft, snowy Cloudcroft. And we had folks online too, so it worked out really nicely. But we had an encounter session where folks paired off and got to know each other, and then they introduced each other to the group. So this is part of our getting to know each other. We then had a session on one of the books. We had 2 books that Amy had asked us to read. One was Canoeing the Mountains. That's what we talked about first. I love that book. It makes the analogy of the Lewis and Clark expedition to where the churches are, not just Morning Star, but the churches are in the Western, not just Western Hemisphere, but mostly Western. But at any rate, certainly it would include the United States. So the analogy was that, as some of you might remember from history a long time ago, or if you're still history buffs, that Thomas Jefferson, the president at the time, commissioned Lewis and Clark to make an expedition, and they were going to follow the river. Which river was it, Steve? You know that. Missouri River, thank you. And they thought it was going to take them to the Pacific Ocean. Well, guess what? The Rocky Mountains, yes. So the idea was from the book is that where we've been in the past is not where we're going. Where we've been as a church, and a lot of the leadership, and I say leadership, in this point I'm talking about pastors. When they go to school, they go to seminary, they don't know, well, they learn skills for the way we've always done church, right? And so, but we're not in the same way. And so we have to find a new way. So I'm going to try and remember that learning point we had yesterday. So where we have been is not where we are going. What's the rest? Was there anything else? But there's more. Oh, what we have done in the past may not work in the future, and so that speaks to change. And I know for a lot of us, change is not always comfortable, but bear with us, and just bear with us and help us. Okay, and then there was okay, does somebody else want to do? Okay, good. Second book.
Okay. All right, the second book. So then we took a break for lunch, and we really got to know each other. Because if you know each other's story, you really care about each other. And then when we get to board meetings, we can work together and have collaboration. So that was a really good part of it, was sitting and having lunch. I made some really good friends over the course of the day. And then the second book. So after lunch, we sat down and we talked about. It's a book called When Church Stops Working. And that one, let's see if I get the point right. The crisis is not the decline of our church. The crisis should be with the encounter with God. Did I get it right? Okay. So we discussed that book. And then after that, the book says that we should have a watch word, which is like a watch phrase in our church that's kind of rooted in biblical. And so we're waiting for God to kind of tell us what our church watch phrase is. Yes. Okay. I think what else? We didn't really do any like business. So we did like a small, tiny business, more to come, but we didn't like make tons of like decisions. Like we're going to change the colors of the seats or, none of that like happened. So if you're like, what decision did they make? And we didn't do any of that. So yeah. Mom has a question. Hi, Mom. Okay, so yes, so there was a board that went up, and then Margaret's a part of Churches in Mission. There's three on I was looking over here because Pete Tierney was there. He wasn't at the meeting yesterday, but he was in the group. And then Margaret and my dad is on the group, Randy Farmer, and Amy, that's it, right? Yeah. Yes, and they are working with many churches. Help me. Okay.
Again, we're going to be sharing more about this too. Y'all did great. The Churches in Mission program we've been doing for about a year with Western Theological Seminary, listening to the congregation, listening to our neighbors, and discerning how God is really calling to be engaged in the neighborhood. And we'll be sharing more about that as time goes on. But these wonderful people have explained really well. We set time apart, and I know that's not easy to do. We gave a whole day to be together in person or online. We had 100% participation, and we really learned some things, because change takes courage and it takes time, and it takes our response, and we're learning to do that as a group. So if you have any more questions about that, again, you can see any one of these wonderful people, and we will be adding a summary. And Margaret, I think we should include links to the books in your summary, because other people might want to read them too. Okay, so we are actually out of time. Is there any last word? Stand up so everybody can thank you. Yeah, you may have been on church boards or known of church boards that did not work, but if you're on my board, you're going to work. And these people are working hard. So thank you all so much. We're stacked. That's great. Thank you all for being here. Church will start in 13 minutes.